Morning and welcome to Legal Brain. Today, I will be discussing about one of the significant judgment passed by Supreme Court of India, stating that unmarried women are also allowed to have abortions up to 24 weeks. Recently, Supreme Court of India allows all women, regardless of their marital status, to have abortions up to 24 weeks into their pregnancies. And this particular judgment was cheered by many reproductive rights activists who said the court had ensured that the law does not discriminate and expands the right to safe and legal abortions to single women. And there are many major takeaways, and one is married and unmarried or single women have equal status. If Rule 3B subclause C was to be interpreted such that its benefit extended only to married women, it would perpetuate that stereotype and socially held notion that only married women indulge in sexual intercourse, and that consequently the benefit in law ought to extend only to them. Justice Chandrachud has said that the artificial distinction between married and unmarried women cannot be sustained, and women must have autonomy to have free exercise of these rights. Another important takeaway is that marital rape falls within definition of rape for the purpose of MTP. And it is not inconceivable that married women become pregnant as a result of the husbands having raped them. The nature of sexual violence and the contours of consent do not undergo a transformation when one decided to marry. And also, it is only by a legal fiction that Exception 2 to Section 375 of Indian Penal Code removes marital rape from the ambit of rape as defined in Section 375 of IPC. And a bench of justices, Chandrachud, Pardiwala, and A.S. Babana, said that the exclusion of unmarried women for the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act is unconstitutional. And the court also said that the meaning of rape must be held to include marital rape too for the purpose of the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act and rules. And another major takeaway is that RMPs must refrain from imposing extra legal requirements, and it is only the woman's consent or her guardian's consent if she is a minor or mentally ill, which is material. RMPs must refrain from imposing extra legal conditions on women seeking to terminate the pregnancy in accordance with the law. And another takeaway is that women's opinion should be given importance while evaluating injury to mental health under the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act. And the bench of judges stated that we are of the opinion that insignificant relevance ought to be placed on each woman's own estimation of whether she is in a position to continue and to carry to term the pregnancy. And doctors need not to disclose identity of minors seeking abortion, which is one of the significant takeaway from this particular judgment. And the court held that in cases where minors seek termination of the pregnancy, the registered medical practitioners need not disclose the identity of the minor to police, even though the same is required under the POCSO Act. And also, the Supreme Court of India observed that law in modern terms is sharing the notion that marriage is a precondition to the rights of individuals, and the Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act must consider the realities of today and must not restrict it by older norms. The law must not remain static and must keep in mind changing social realities. As we all know, law should be dynamic and it should keep on changing according to the changes in the society. And also, according to Supreme Court of India, law should not decide the beneficiaries of the statute based on narrow patriarchal stereotypes on what constitute permissible sex. The Supreme Court has said that the rights of reproductive autonomy, dignity, and privacy, which is guaranteed under Article 21, give an unmarried woman the right of choice whether or not to bear a child on similar footing as married women. And this particular judgment breaks away from the stigma that is attached to single women getting pregnant. And the Supreme Court observes that denying single women the same access to abortion violated the right to equality, which is guaranteed under our Indian Constitution under Article 14. Also, the marital status of women cannot be grounds to deprive her right to abort an unwanted pregnancy. The court said that all women are entitled to safe and legal abortion. And the major takeaways of this particular judgment concludes that state must take steps to ensure right to reproductive autonomy and dignity for all the citizens. Thank you for listening to me, and I'll be coming back with yet another judgment. Thank you.